Can you dropship from Wayfair onto eBay or Amazon? We're going to cover that in this video, all the pitfalls to avoid and how to maximize your profit on every single sale. Hey, what's up? Paul here from dropshippingtitans.com, where I teach regular people just like you how to dropship onto eBay and Amazon from other websites like Wayfair. Now, I've never really talked too much about Wayfair, but I do get a lot of questions about it. So I put together this little slideshow for you guys. And if you want to follow along with me, I will have a link down below where you can download this slideshow in a PDF form. And the great thing about this is I go through my 6 criteria that I look for every time I look at a new supplier. And since I haven't really worked with Wayfair before, I'm going to be applying these 6 criteria to Wayfair. But you can use these with any new supplier that you are interested in dropshipping from. Because with the program that I teach, the method that I teach, you can dropship from pretty much any online retailer out there. But I would run through these 6 so that you know what's in store for you before you get started. So real quick, a brief overview. We're going to look at what products the website has for sale, the shipping times, the cost, and the shipping policy, the returns policy. We'll look at their customer service. We'll see if we can get any discounts, which will maximize our profit as dropshippers. And we will also check if they are dropship friendly. So like I said, if you want to follow along with the PDF, click the first link underneath this video. So this is wayfair.com right here. And again, the first thing we're looking at is what types of products do they have for sale? And if you explore their website, it's pretty clear right away that they have a large variety of home goods, furniture, chairs, tables, decorations. And this is really excellent for us as dropshippers because these types of items don't have what I call an inherent value. So look at this table and chair set right here. You don't know just by looking at it what the price of these would be. Where if you have a television, like a Sony television, that has a set price. Every website that you visit is going to sell it for the same price. And consumers are pretty savvy when it comes to electronics. They know how to shop around and find the best price. But when it comes to home goods like this, because there's really no set price, it's really determined by how much the buyers are willing to pay. So that allows us to mark up the price and sell these items on eBay and Amazon. Also, the great benefit about products like these is that they're less likely to break, less likely to have problems down the road like electronics do, and less likely to have some sort of fraud on eBay like you would get with electronics as well. Now, I've done a little digging around, and I also know that Wayfair has over 800,000 products. So that's something else you want to look for, how many different products they have for sale. They actually have a much greater number than that, but I'm looking specifically at wayfair.com, and they have about 800,000 products for sale. They're also very competitive with their pricing. That's something you want to look at. You can look around at some of their items and see what the prices are, and check what the prices of these items are or similar items are on different websites. And by doing that, you can see that Wayfair here does try to be competitive with their pricing. Now, another thing that I like, and you can see this just by opening up a few of these different categories, is that they sell a wide variety of priced items. So if we come here into maybe like wall art, we can probably see that some of this is pretty cheap right here. Some of it's like $45, but others more expensive, $300. This one's $26, $47. So some of this is really cheap and some of it's really expensive. And that's really good because it allows you to have room to grow. As a new seller, you want to sell some of these cheaper items because they'll be easier for you to move. But once you start leveling up, so to speak, getting more experience, and you get the ball rolling with your stores, you want to start selling some of the more pricey items so you can make more money. And Wayfair gives you room to do that. Now, another thing I like about selling home goods is that it's a very popular category on eBay. And the way you pretty much determine this is you can go onto eBay and search for a category and look at recently sold items. If you see that a lot of items in that category are selling, then you know it's something that people are going to buy more of from you. Now, the second thing on my list here is shipping times. You always want to check out what the shipping policy is. And luckily, WayFair gives us that information right here on the homepage. And they say that there is free shipping on all orders over $49. And anything under $49, you'll get a flat shipping cost of $4.99. So that's very good to know. This is not a deal breaker that there's not free shipping on all orders. It's just something you want to be aware of. And it's great that you can do this without buying into a program like you have to do with Amazon Prime, for instance. They also tell you that there is fast 2-day shipping on thousands of items. Also really helpful to know, and that makes it even more appealing to me as a dropshipper. Now, one thing I always look for as well is whether or not they offer free shipping when you combine 2 different items into one order, and whether you can ship those to different addresses. So for instance, 2 $25 items, put them into one order, but ship them to different addresses. Can you do that? And will you get free shipping if you do that? Well, technically you can with WayFair, but you have to call in to place the order. And that's not really sustainable. That won't really work. So the answer is pretty much no. You don't get to ship to different addresses within one order with WayFair. Not a deal breaker, just something you want to be aware of here. Now, the other thing you always want to be aware of is if there's any exceptions to these rules. Like, are there some items that don't get free shipping? Are there some items that don't get 2-day shipping? And that there almost always is with every supplier. And just to show you an example, here I've opened up wall mirrors. And the good thing is that they tell you right here, free 2-day shipping or just free shipping. See that right here? So you'll know right away. I wouldn't even list any items that don't get free shipping or just $5 shipping. Free shipping, free shipping, free shipping, free 2-day shipping. So I wouldn't, in this case, I wouldn't limit myself to just 2-day shipping. Maybe at first you want to do that because you know the items are going to get out quickly. But I would only sell the items that get free shipping or $5 shipping if it's under the threshold. Now, for any items that don't get 2-day shipping, you want to make sure that it still will arrive within a reasonable amount of time. Some items might be specialty and specialty orders, and they won't arrive within a few days. So you have to be aware of that when you're listing the items as well. But if you stick to these items or the items that have the shorter handling time, shipping time, then on eBay, you can set your shipping time to about 1 to 5 days, and that would be ample time with a website like WayFair. So the next thing I always look for are the return policies and what the return policy is. So you can find that right here. It says easy returns, but I wouldn't just take that at its face value. What does that mean? So there's always going to be a button here that takes you directly to the return policy page where you can get some more information. And here it says all you have to do is open up the website, click a couple buttons, you get a return label, and you ship the item back. So I really like how easy it is to return items, but it doesn't answer a big question I have, which is, are returns with WayFair free? And unfortunately, even this one doesn't always fully answer my question, but I did some digging around, and this is what it's going to take for you to do. You have to do some digging around, and what you'll discover is that returns are not free with WayFair. So they're only free if the item arrived damaged. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, oh, I'll just always lie about it and say it arrived damaged. That's generally a bad idea because if you keep doing that, WayFair will notice and they'll shut down your account. They won't let you keep purchasing items from them. So I suggest not doing that. Instead, adjust your policy on eBay so that you don't offer free returns for these items. Of course, if it arrives damaged and the buyer's saying it's damaged, that's a different story. Then you won't get charged return shipping by WayFair in that case. And the other thing you want to be aware of is how long the return window is open for. And right here, we see that it's 30 days, which is pretty standard. So that's ample time. You want to make sure you have at least 30 days with any supplier that you use. So this is going to be fine. So the next thing that I look for is what the customer service is like. And customer service, luckily on WayFair, is really good. It's really hard to determine this before you get started, but a nice tip here is call them up and talk to them. If you're unsure of what their return policy is, what their shipping times are, their shipping policies are, that's a good excuse to call them and ask these questions. If you're really on edge about it and not really sure, you can always order a product yourself from them, have it delivered to you, call customer service, pretend you have some issue with it, see how they deal with it, start a return for the product to see what the return process is like as well. And that will give you a good idea of how easy they are to use. Now, I did call them to ask them a few questions. They were really helpful, and I have used them in the past and never had any issues with their customer service. Now, specifically, some things I would look for is how you can contact their customer service. So on websites like Home Depot, they make it super easy because there's actually a chat window where you can chat in. Other websites, you can simply email someone. With WayFair, I'm actually not sure. Let's see, WayFair chat. That's usually what I search for. And there's like a contact us here. And it looks like there is a way to, let's see, shopping. You can call. I did see, I think if you log in, there will be a way to chat, because right here it says, we're here to help over phone or chat. So it does look like that might be a possibility to chat in after you place an order. So again, if that option isn't there, it's not a deal breaker, but it certainly helps a lot if they have a chat, because that way you don't have to constantly place phone calls with their customer service. So the last thing I always look for with a new supplier is, or the second to last thing, is discounts. What kind of extra discounts can I get so that I can make more money on every single sale? So the first thing I always look for is, do they charge sales tax when I purchase an item from their website? And if they do, can I become tax exempt? Now, I searched around the WayFair website, couldn't find much information about it, but I did call up and they answered my question. They said they do charge sales tax. So you will get charged, it's not for every state, so it's about an average of 5 to 6%. That's how much I would add on top of your orders to make sure you cover sales tax. And they do have a tax exempt program, but in order to use it, you have to call in to make the purchase. So again, that's not really sustainable. So effectively, in my opinion, they don't have a tax exempt program that we can really use as drop shippers. Again, not a deal breaker, because everyone who's drop shipping from WayFair is going to have to charge or mark it up enough to cover the sales tax as well. So the next thing I look for is whether there's any cashback opportunities. And I know I'm covering a lot, but again, if you download the PDF that I have linked up down below, each of these slides, I cover this. So in this one, I go through, do they charge sales tax? Is there tax exempt program? Is there cash back available? So if you don't want to take too many notes, make sure to download that PDF. So yeah, that's the next thing I look for. Is there cash back available? Now, with every website, some of them offer cash back, some of them don't. And even the ones that do, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, or the percentages go up and down. I know WayFair used to do it when I've used them a few times, but currently they do not. I wasn't able to find any websites that would give me cash back for WayFair, but that's always changing. So I would always look at cashbackmonitor.com, and this will tell you whether there's any that are offering cash back right now. Again, not a deal breaker. If you haven't noticed that theme, nothing here is really a deal breaker, as long as you are aware of it so that you can have all the information needed going into starting to dropship from them. The next thing I look for is if there's any other way to save some money, whether there's coupons, certain programs, even if they have a dropship program available. So for instance, Banggood, if you're drop shipping from them, they have a whole dropship program that makes it cheaper for us to buy the products than most people. A good way to do this is to type the name of the supplier and type in WayFair membership. And here we see a WayFair membership program. It's called My Way, and it'll tell you all the benefits. Like it's just $30 a year. You get free shipping on all orders, 25% off in-home services, which you wouldn't use, exclusive access to certain items, faster shipping on certain items, more discounts on certain things. So this does look really appealing, and this is something that I would consider, but with a caveat, which is that every time a website has one of these programs, they generally don't like it if we use it for reselling purposes. And if you do use it for reselling purposes, generally you will get kicked out of the program. So that's something you want to kind of be aware of going into it in case it does happen. Which kind of brings me to my next point, or the next criteria here, which is it dropship friendly? So this is more like a spectrum. On one end, we have the suppliers that really encourage drop shipping. This would be websites like Banggood that actually have dropship programs. At the other end are those that don't like reselling at all, like Target. Most suppliers fall somewhere towards the middle, which is more of an indifference to us. Now, where does WayFair fall? I think they fall somewhere in the middle here. If you buy items from their website, they mostly won't mind you doing that. But if you sign up for the My Way program and start using them, I almost guarantee it, they will shut you down. And how do I know that? It's because I did some research. This is what I always do. I come over to Facebook, and I'm a member of several different dropshipping groups, including the Titans Tribe, which is just for members of my course. So what I do is I type into the search bar at the top, WayFair, and on the right, I select your groups and pages. And I see what comes up. I see who's talking about WayFair. So here in the Titans Tribe, inside my group, Lance made this post, says, tip of the day, suppliers like Overstock and WayFair do sell their own items on eBay, but that doesn't mean you cannot list the same items and make a good profit. These suppliers bulk upload their items, they don't change the titles, and it's hard for customers to find those items. So that's really great to know, because if I had seen that WayFair is dropshipping their products as well, I might have given up at that point. But Lance is saying that he does it. There is problems with the way they do it, so there is an opportunity for you to come in here and do that. Here's another post I saw from Stefan from 2016. So you got to kind of take that one with a grain of salt because things change. And says, oh my gosh, this item I bought from WayFair is going to take a month to ship. This is why I said it's important to see what the handling and shipping time is for each item. Now, this might not be true anymore for items from WayFair because this is 2016, but something else for you to look at. And there's a bunch of other comments here as well that you can always look at and learn more about it. And the other thing I've done here is I've searched here for My Way on Facebook and saw what came up. And here's someone who said, hey, has anyone used My Way's program or WayFair's program called My Way that offers free shipping? And Ron Myers came in and said it won't last. They don't like drop shippers. I'm assuming he means using their program. So you got to be careful with that. So yeah, that's the research I did, and that's how I know that using this My Way program is just not going to work. But that's similar to what I would do if I was looking at any new supplier. So there you go, guys. That's my full take on WayFair. Honestly, this wasn't that hard for me to do this research and to determine if they are dropship friendly and everything that I need to know before I start dropshipping from WayFair. So if you're looking at any new supplier, make sure to go through these 6 different criteria. Again, if you want the PDF, I'll have it linked up down below. Otherwise, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you got any value out of this video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want more tips about eBay and Amazon dropshipping, make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.